Hey everybody, Strider's back with another high ELO casting game. This time is actually a request from one of the viewers. They wanted to see another Chowix game, or Chaox, Chowix. I don't know, everybody pronounces it both ways, and he refuses to answer the question on how it's pronounced, which is quite infuriating. But anyway, yeah, this game was requested. If you guys have any requests as far as who you want to see, any particular champion, or any particular player, leave a comment, send me a message, and I have a list of everything, of every request that I get, and I will get to those champions. A lot of the, popular, or the champions or players, a lot of those players are, popular, so there'll be like 5 or 10 people requesting the same person, which is fine because I can, kind of cut all that down and get like 2 or 3 games with that one person in. So don't think that just because you're asking for somebody doesn't mean I won't get to you. You can request games from more than one person. I don't really care. Like I said, I just have a giant spreadsheet with everything on it. Alright, so let's start the game as far as this laughing Moo wanting to be friends forever and ever. And he wants to give everybody so many hugs. Those bandage hugs. It's like a Christian side hug, but it's a bandage toss. And it stuns you. Alright, so the game that we have right now, we're going to have a Taric, a Nautilus, an Ahri, a Rumble, and a Graves. Red team is very, very powerful in my opinion. They have a lot of CC coming out from the Taric and the Nautilus and the Ahri. But then they also have the Rumble's ult and his slow from his Electro Harpoons. And then Graves has his smokescreen. So they have a lot of utility, a lot of CC, but they also have insane damage with Rumble and Graves and Ahri and everything else. As far as the blue team goes, they have an Ezreal, a Blitzcrank, a Jarvan, J4, everybody likes a good old-fashioned J4, and a Mumu, and a Ziggs. So this will be interesting. I don't typically see Ziggs at high ELO, even though he does ridiculous amounts of damage. I think his mana problems were a lot of his issues, but since the changes on... Oh, that sucks. So Red completely reset and now is bugging out and not fixing itself. That is annoying. So that sucks for the blue team as far as trying to take that jungle. And hopefully they're going to be okay with that. Yeah, it looks like Amumu was still going to be alright with it. Did waste a lot of time, which is very unfortunate. But it happens. So we're going to see Nautilus come up here, and he's going to be like, oh crap, my red's gone. But he's going to take that creep, and now he's going to signal that, yeah, that Amumu's in this tri-bush. And so he did get pinged out. He is aware of it. Did get bandage tossed and auto-attacked. And the red buff does slow him down a little bit. Jarvan was not level 2, unfortunately. But that's okay, because they were still able to get quite a bit of damage. So Rumble's going to be forced to use 1 or 2 of his potions. Now Nautilus might be going down here and going for the blue team's red buff. And I'm pretty sure Amumu knows that this is happening. The reason Nautilus is going for the blue team's red buff. Hold on, there was some damage up here. So Taric almost died, but he is able to get out successfully. And Amumu is not checking his red buff, which I think is very strange, because right when Nautilus noticed that his red buff was gone and that Amumu was top. That is unfortunate. Let me go ahead and go back real quick. But yeah, once Nautilus noticed that he was top, he should have went right for that red. Oh, the grab comes down perfectly, and he flashed as well. Oh, that's just really unfortunate for that Taric. That Taric used the flash, but still got power fisted, which is very, very unfortunate. So he still died and he lost it. A lot of damage coming out on Nautilus, also going down onto Rumble. Rumble's really close to dying. The only people that don't seem to be doing too much as far as damage goes is the mid champions, which is odd because usually mid is the first ones to die. Definitely not bottom lane. Bottom lane is very interesting because most of the time it's really, really passive. Of course, with the Blitzcrank, it's not nearly as passive because he can zone incredibly well. One thing I really like about Blitzcrank, he's the unconventional support. It just makes you play in fear, and that's what a lot of people have issues with. They don't know how to play with that fear. They're like, if I get grabbed, I'm dead. And so they put themselves in a position to where they can never get grabbed. And when that happens, they tend to miss out on CS, make bad mistakes, as opposed to good mistakes, apparently. Oh, so they do have a ward in that bush, and they do stun the Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank does get the Power Fist, and he does get the grab as well. But it looks like they're able to thwart them off with quite a bit of damage. And we might be seeing some action up top. Jarvan used both of his abilities, so he's not going to be able to get out of that anymore. He's going to have to wait for his cooldowns to go down, and the flame is the hook lands, and he does go down from the red buff ticks. So Rumble went back in there just to get a little tiny bit of damage on the red buff. It might not have mattered, but it was still really good bait on the Rumble's part, just to make the Jarvan hesitate and be like, well, I'm probably going to die anyway, so I might as well turn on to the Rumble, try to get the kill. Unannounced to him, he might have been able to get away if he just kept running that whole time. So it's unfortunate for Jarvan, but very, very well played by the red team, well coordinated. Rumble knew exactly what he could get away with, and more damage going off at bottom. Graves going down this time. Alright, let's see if we can get the whole fight in here. Oh, great grab gets, and the auto, oh my gosh, absolutely destroyed the Power Fist with the grab, and then Ezreal just predicted everything, and they exhausted him just in case. The attack speed buff going down onto Blitz, and they are going to be able to take out the Taric as well. So we're a little bit far behind. We're going to try to catch up to normal people's speed. Oh, and oh my gosh, Nautilus gets a double kill at bottom. Insane. Oh, that was perfect. Nautilus did exactly what he needed to do. Exactly what he needed to do. Everything that just happened bottom, the double kill, might have been worth it. That Nautilus is beginning to get extremely fed. He's 3-0-0. He already has a gold per 10. The grab does come out, and the rush comes out, but she does miss her charm. She's still going to be able to take him out with all of her abilities. And Nautilus takes a lot of tower damage. He's almost dead from that. We're going to see if we can catch up now. Oh, that was so close. I think Nautilus got a little bit too cocky, and another grab Power Fist goes onto the Taric. And Taric has to blow his flash again. His stun is already down, and the Phage proc goes down onto the Graves, and Graves is able to put off enough damage. Slows down his attack speed. Ezreal does. And they're still going on. The grab coming up, slow motion. Nah. I tried to predict that. I'm sorry. That would have been freaking awesome if I slowed it right at that. I apologize. Stun coming out onto Taric. Taric gets off as much as he can. He's going to flash in. He's going to... Oh, so great move. Blitz does hit level 6 and gets the double kill off that. So this game is just... Everybody's going so aggressive, which I really like. There's a lot of unconventional plays, but a lot of really well thought out plays. So they did lose their carry, and they didn't get exactly what they wanted, but Blitz was still able to pick up 2 kills. And being able to get 2 kills on your support sounds like a really bad thing. It's not terrible, because exactly he can go down and he can get the extra gold per 10 items. He can get more wards, he can get pink wards, he can get oracles, just a lot of other things. Now it looks like we might have a gank coming up top, so we'll see once this unfreezes if we can get a little bit going down. So Nautilus is definitely baiting this out. Does miss the grab, the ult coming down off of Nautilus, and Nautilus is able to land the snare, and the red buff with the flame spitter does take him down. Ezreal ult goes down to bottom. Blitzcrank is able to get off. Not going to be able to get away from this, but Ezreal does get exhausted, and Taric goes down. Ezreal is able to... I don't know how Ezreal got that kill, actually. Ezreal doesn't have red buff. I must have missed something somewhere. But either way, it was a great play. They baited the stun into the tower with Blitzcrank, and they separated the support from the AD. And the thing is, with Blitzcrank as a support, he doesn't necessarily support in the conventional way. He just kind of heals people and keeps CC down, loaded on people. So he CC'd Graves as long as possible, as well as trying to take down the Taric and tower diving him, splitting him up so Taric couldn't heal Graves. So Ezreal just basically got a free kill. I mean, it was really dangerous and it was really close, don't get me wrong, but it was still a free kill. And the pink ward coming down from both teams. Blitz is able to get it, and Blitz is going to try to run away, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to, because the grab is going to go away, and Ahri's going to come through. Oh, Ahri does end up backing off. I thought Ahri was definitely going to Spirit Rush in there and try to get some kills. Israel's the only one left bottom, and up top, Rumble is really close to going down, but J4 cannot die because he doesn't have enough health. Unfortunate. Ezreal's still all by himself at bottom. He's gonna have to juke this. He does flash and Chrono Shift. He does get grabbed. That was an amazing grab from the Nautilus. Nautilus is able to do everything perfectly this game. Nautilus is ripping up this game. If they have any real chance of winning, it's because of this Nautilus. Nautilus is providing so much presence early game. He already has 5 kills and 1 assist. That he's a part of 6 out of 7 of their kills. It's not usual that that's happened, although Blitzcrank is part of 7 out of 8. So, but then again, jungler versus support, it's, I don't know. It's gonna be crazy, but that gank on Ezreal bottom provides red. Provides red team to be able to pick up Dragon without a problem. No problems at all. Sorry about that. Skype just decided to crap out on me. And it crashed my game. Anyway. So yeah. Red team got a free Dragon because they were able to pick up the kill on Ezreal bottom, which is a very good pickup. Very, very clean. Useful, of course, as is always killing the AD carry. So let's take a look at CS and gold here for a minute. Looks like the #1 gold leader in the game right now is Nautilus with 4,500 gold. He has 49 CS. Ahri has a ton of creep kills, 107, leading the pack by at least 20 from everybody. So she's doing incredible. She only has 1 kill, but she is just tearing up those minions while being able to zone Ziggs relatively easily. Jarvan's coming out, but he is going to get ulted by both by Nautilus and the Rumble, and he does ult to get in there, and he is able to keep them in for a while, and Ziggs comes with the ult and just barely misses. Oh my god, that was so close. Such a close bomb. It was a great try on Ziggs' part, but unfortunately it was not good enough. And there Ziggs shows how powerful he is at just taking those wraiths so very easily with just a couple spells. Once he gets blue buff, it's really going to be easy to kill him. Amumu gets the bandage toss and ults and is able to get it off, but I don't think they're going to be able to kill her. Another bandage toss might get it, but I don't know if he's in range. Is he in range? She's going to have to juke it. He does get the bandage toss and does flash out. He's going to run right into Nautilus. Nautilus misses. Hits the wall. Grabs him to the wall. He does get a little bit closer. Nautilus's ult is down, and it's going to be down for a while, so it's not going to work out the way they planned. Great move by Amumu, knowing what he can do and knowing what he can't. Graves goes down again, and so does Taric, but Ezreal does get stunned in tower range and does go down from that. Let's go ahead and reverse that back. So Ezreal's way far behind. The whole thing, Blitz misses the grab, and yeah, so he starts taking tower damage right there, and he gets stunned and then shattered, so it reduces his armor, and he goes down from the tower, because the tower just does beats damage to AD carries this early in the game. Nautilus is coming down. He's going to get a slow. He's going to hit the snare on, and the passive goes down. Grab comes out. Power Fist. Snare. Oh my gosh. Great coordination by the blue team. Able to just CC him on the tower perfectly. Nautilus got a little bit too cocky with his ability and his score, everything that was going on. So I think that caused him to be a little overconfident, and Blitzcrank just took advantage of that. Just did everything he could, Blitzcrank and Mumu. They knew they had the CC, they just did the Blitz grab to the Power Fist to the Bandage Toss, and it was GG since he wasn't tower range. Quite a bit of action going up top. Ahri might be going through. Ziggs thinks that Ahri's at blue buff, but Ahri's actually behind the tower. And all of a sudden I start whispering because I want to pretend like I think, oh, she kind of give it away. Does get the Bandage Toss off, does get the ult on, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much of any damage outside of that. A little bit more damage comes out from Ziggs, but it's not going to be nearly enough. It was a 2-for-0 trade. They just went down instantly. Which is quite unfortunate, and they are going to take this blue buff effectively. We're going to see if we can get up to live time here. Real time. Ezreal's farming behind the tower. I don't see that very frequently. But they are able to take out the first bottom tower, which is the first tower of the game. So it was a great job by the blue team, able to pick up that tower, get that lead, make up for the loss of Dragon. And they're going to just keep trying to push back into this game as hard as they can. They still have a little bit of a kill advantage, but that 2-for-0 exchange and losing blue buff is not going to bode well for their morale. This probably gets to one of the parts where it seems like they're losing a lot. As far as a player goes, it's hard to guesstimate and assume that you're losing, even though the kills are close. Sometimes, because there's been tournament play where people have been even, but they've been behind 12 kills. They've been even on gold, but behind like 12 kills. They just fight better. And a lot of damage coming out from Rumble and Jarvan. Rumble being able to pick that up. Jarvan did not quite get him in tower range with that ultimate, so he was going to go down pretty handily, which is unfortunate, but Rumble is so incredibly strong. It's really difficult to duel him one-on-one with just raw damage. You have to kind of kite him around and poke him, but then again, Rumble's really good at kiting himself, so it's not 100% practical. Blitzcrank barely missing the grab, but Nautilus comes in. Oh, just barely misses the anchor. Really close call on that one. I keep wanting to see Nautilus do a Drudge Line through a wall. I know it's not really possible, but oh no. Just barely missed the bouncing bomb. Ezreal just gets destroyed, completely blown up. And Amumu gets 3 people inside that ult, and he does do insane AoE damage. Is going to get possibly a double kill here. He's going to miss that. Oh, he missed the Bandage Toss, and Amumu comes up. Ziggs is doing as much damage as he can to Taric, and Ahri's still going after Ziggs. Ziggs does pop a health potion, do as much as he can, and Amumu still gets that 2 kills on the Nautilus. I'm going to go back because I want to follow this Amumu. Amumu does get the ult up again? Is it the second time? Oh my gosh, he gets ignited. Ah, that was so incredibly close.
Team double kill.
Great job by the blue team to stick it to the red team. They are going to be able to get a free dragon from this. The red team has a pink ward there, so they know that they're doing this. But Ziggs with this passive is just going to be able to take this out really quickly. And same with Jarvan. Jarvan's passive is really nice, doing the 8% damage. Plus the Damascene standard, giving them armor and everything like that. Let's see if we can get it to real time real quick. Dun, 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 dun. So let's take a look at the items. Ezreal popping out with a Trinity Force early on in the game. Now there's a lot of debate among many people which is better, Trinity Force or just rushing that Bloodthirster right away. And the truth is, it comes down to how fed you are in the beginning of the game. If you have a lot of CS, if you have a lot of kills, it's much better to get that Trinity Force, because popping out those Phage procs and doing those Sheen procs as well, throwing the movement speed, it's incredibly powerful. The Trinity Force is just overall better. Oh no, Ezreal gets stunned here and does get ulted. Oh, that equalizer just tearing up that Ezreal once he got stunned in there. Incredibly good move by the red team. They're able to perfectly coordinate that. Grab comes down onto Graves, and Graves gets stunned and then power fisted and then stunned again. And silenced for the kill. Oh, this is a crazy move. Amumu does not have a whole lot of magic resist, so he's going to go down relatively quickly. And Dredgeline coming out. Amumu is able to snare two of them, but Ahri was not snared, so she was able to Spirit Rush at him twice and get all the damage off that she needed. Jarvan is just trying to push his tower as hard as possible, because red team still does not have any towers down. They might be getting, yeah, so Rumble's going to get this top tower, but Jarvan is just going away as hard as he can, trying to get this the second bottom tower. There's not much that's going to be done here by the Taric. Yeah, so he's going to back off just because he doesn't trust anything that's going on there. Ezreal is going to try to take this red buff. Yeah, so Ezreal's going to get this red buff. Nautilus is a little bit too afraid that he has backup coming, which he did.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
And then Ahri takes mid tower just for good measures. This game is so close right now. It's almost even. There's only like a 400 or 500 gold difference. The red buff coming down, going to Ziggs, I would assume, but Ziggs is a little far away, and Amumu's going to take this down pretty quickly. Especially, oh, Power Spark. And it goes to Amumu with the Sunfire Cape. And that's, I mean, it's not the best thing to do, because I think Ziggs can use it a lot more since he's very mana intensive. But Amumu with lower cooldowns is always dangerous. He does have a little bit more magic resist now, so he's going to be able to survive those fights against the Rumble and the Ahri, which is really what he needed to do. I think he was just building a lot of armor in preparation for that Shatter. Grab comes out, but misses just barely. And Nautilus is instigating a fight onto this Jarvan. Yes, instigating. Not initiating, instigating. Go with it. And there's still a lot of action going down. The grab comes down onto Amumu. Amumu's looking for an ult, zoning the whole team amazingly while he flashes and ults and gets all 5 of them. And Ziggs goes in with his ult, causing 3 of them to flash out of it. Great team fight for the blue team. They only took out 1 member of the red team, and that was the Rumble. But that is all they needed. They should be... Oh, perfect grab comes out from Blitz. Blitz is going to get damaged. He might actually go down here. It's a little bit too risky, but they were able to take up a kill. It was just... Oh, it was really close. It was just a support for the other kill. And Ziggs goes down too. Spirit Rush is going to come out, and Ahri's going to get away. They're going to be able to get that tower. So it was a 1 for 0, and then it was a 2 for 0, but then they also, and then it was a 2 for 2, sorry, and then they got the tower. Getting the mid tower is super important. It's the shortest lane in the game. So whenever you get an ace and Baron's already down, or if you're pushed all the way to this tower, the inhibitor tower, a lot of times it's easier just to win the game, depending on what point of the game is and how long the death timers are. But it's so easy just wherever you are on the map just to push mid, because you can get to mid really quickly from anywhere. And like I said, it's the shortest lane in the map, so it makes it to where you have to travel a shorter distance so you can spend more time pushing creeps. Nautilus, almost ran right past that ward, but he was able to pick it up. And I see that a lot, actually, which is really interesting. I see a lot of people just skipping past wards. They don't expect it to be where they are sometimes, or they're paying attention to other parts of the map and they just miss wards. Oh, the bandage toss. Okay, no, it wasn't bandage toss. Just auto attacks that Blitz has an oracles with the kills that he was able to pick up and the assist. Insane amount of assist at this point. And the red team has a pink ward there. And Blitz doesn't really want to go inside the Baron pit, and neither does Amumu, because no matter what they do, their passives are going to aggro this Baron. Because Blitz's ult has a passive where it randomly strikes opponents within a radius around him of lightning, and then the Amumu's Sunfire Cape does everything around him. So it's really dangerous to just kind of hang around Baron. If I was the red team, I would be throwing wards really, really close to Baron, mainly for the fact of that they would be forced, for the most part, to take damage in order to get rid of that. And red team basically just picked up a free dragon and backed off. And blue team didn't have any way of retaliating. They didn't get there in time. They didn't know that they were doing it, so they didn't just go for Baron. Which I thought was a really risky move by the red team, because right when blue team took out their pink ward at Baron, they just went straight to dragon. They didn't really care at all. They're like, oh, whatever, we'll just go dragon. And yeah, it's really scary to not have any vision on Baron and knowing that the blue team is there. Banish Toss coming out perfect. Oh, getting two of them, zoning out the other two, and the blue team just instantly blowing up two members of the red team, being the Nautilus and the Rumble, who are both extremely tanky and extremely valuable. And that is going to bode well for the blue team. Red team's going to try everything in their what am I trying to say? In their power, I suppose. Do everything in their power to try to get the Blitzcrank. Just barely misses. Spirit Rush, oh my gosh, that Orb of Deception almost got it. And Taric is going to go down with a little bit of damage. The ult, yes, the ult does come out from Ahri. She does need to get away, the Firefox, and she is able to zoom out of there. And Blitz is going to try and go for that grab, but is not going to be able to. Oh, Blitz just goes all in with the Jarvan. Blitz Jarvan is the all-in comp. They just, oh man, Jarvan just jumped on him, and then Blitz just grabbed him out. It didn't matter where you're going. Did flash towards the Blitz, but still was dangerous. And Jarvan going in, tower diving again, trying to get as much damage. Oh, and the Ezreal ult does pick up the Graves. It was a great snipe from the Ezreal. And Amumu is getting smashed right now. Ezreal does end up going down from the Rumble. I'll rewind that. I didn't even see that happen. So Ezreal does snipe him down. Ezreal took tower aggro, and that's what happened. So, unfortunate, but it does happen, and Jarvan throws out his Damascene Snare just to get a little bit more damage. Ziggs throws down his explosive minefield to get a little bit of damage on it. Taric, oh my gosh, that was so close. Taric grabbed, just barely missed. Jarvan is getting cut out by the Nautilus. He does do his flag spear to try to get out of there. He doesn't go over a wall, so he's not going to be able to be 100% safe. Nautilus is getting really close. He was able to juke him out, but he does get grabbed still. Oh my gosh, the flag toss. Great jukes by Jarvan on that one. But unfortunate for him, Nautilus had flash and was like, alright, I guess I will use my flash to kill you. So I think Jarvan was just kind of having a good time. He's doing a little loop-de-loo, rodeo, whatever you want to call it, around the red buff. And Nautilus was just a giant. Yeah, it was ridiculous. You guys saw it. You know what happened. I don't have to explain it to you again. We're gonna try to get to live here real quick and see how much time they have left on their Baron buff. They have a little bit less than half of it left. We're gonna take a look at the gold here, and it looks like the gold leader is Ezreal with 9 kills. He has 11,000 gold. A lot of gold, and it's really good for an AD carry, especially with Ezreal, because he's a little bit on the weaker side as far as AD carries go. But you can't really go wrong with Pulsefire Ezreal. You just can't. It doesn't matter what you do. Pulsefire Ezreal is freaking awesome. We might have an initiation coming in mid here. There's probably going to be a fight for this mid tower. Red team might let it go since blue team still has Baron. But it's possible that they might let it go. Yeah, it looks like they were just going to let it go. And they're going to continue to push. They're going to try to use as much as their Baron as possible. Before it runs out, they're going to attempt to get one more tower. But we can't be 100% sure if that will even happen. Red team has a lot of defenses. They have enough poke with Graves' buckshot as well as Ahri's Orb of Deception and Rumble's ult. Taric, oh my gosh. Ahri does almost... Oh! Amumu gets 4 people in his ult, but he goes down almost instantly. And Ziggs hits 3 people with his ult. Does a lot of damage, and Ezreal is just starting to clean up house right now. He does get stunned, and then he gets dredgelined by Nautilus and does go down from the Flame Spitter of Rumble, and the ult from Blitzcrank just destroying people. And Ziggs is at like 10 health, barely survived there. Their Baron ran out in the middle of that fight, which is very unfortunate, but it does happen. The ult Power Fist coming down, and the Shatter's going to kill him. Yes, Blitzcrank just killed, which is very important. Yeah, Blitzcrank killed his own enemy, or his own teammate there. His enemy, yes. Another Power Fist coming down, and he does grab and gets another ult down. Blitz is going into beast mode right now. Okay, Blitz has a Trinity Force, so it's getting real. Blitz isn't messing around anymore. Blue team did finally back off. They are going to try to push the side lanes a little bit. The top lane's first tower is still up, so I can only imagine they're going to try to poke that down just to get that little bit of extra gold, and they do know that Baron is going to be spawning in like a minute or so. Being able to do that, just taking control of this top lane will be extremely useful. So taking out that tower and then throwing some wards in their jungle is going to be something that I can foresee them doing here pretty soon. Especially, you know, getting that extra 190 gold from that tower is something that everybody wants. Almost every time I go back, I'm like, man, I wish I had, you know, a tower right now. Because you can always get another ward, or it almost gets you an elixir, which is very underrated. Elixirs are so powerful. Blue buff going on to Ziggs. And it looks like the red team was able to pick up blue buff for the Ahri, so this is going to be a great fight for the red team, this next fight. Oh, the grab just... that quick draw was so close. Oh my gosh, that was a great grab by Blitzcrank, trying to read that quick draw as much as possible. At least that's what it seemed like he was doing. It looked too close to not be completely transparent. But... either way, it was still borderline impossible. And the tower's going to go down to minions. Great job, blue minions. Purple caster minions are not going to make it this game. Blitzcrank is going to get caught out. He's all by himself against 5. And Amumu's coming out. He is going to be able to get an ult down on 4 of them. And then Jarvan comes down onto Ahri. Ahri gets stunned. and still able to get away with her other spirit rushes and is able to take down Amumu. Amumu goes down. Jarvan is going to use his flag toss and his standard to close the gap. Jarvan gets charmed, but Ezreal is able to take him out. And Ezreal also takes down the Graves, but Graves takes him down with the red buff. Great trade by Graves, because if they didn't take out the Ezreal, Ezreal would have probably won this game. The only thing that's bad about that is that Ziggs has a Lich Bane, and Ziggs and his passive. So Ziggs' passive is already insane. They are able to take out the tower. Oh, the Ziggs is going to go down very, very closely. The Jarvan CC coming out, and Ziggs is just barely able to get away. And they're gonna go for this tower. Oh my gosh, the Taric is coming up, and then Spirit Rush is up with Ahri. And I don't know what's going on. There's some crazy noises. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what that noise is. Everything is closed out on my screen.
The Gut knows you're gonna need 2 new beers. And the Gut knows a serious spark plug when it sees one. The new Bosch OE Finewire spark plug.
It's one of those
made for American,
commercials.
Asian, and European engines.
Sorry, guys. Luckily, that it was only one commercial. And I'm pretty sure that's Chaox's stream commercial, now that I think about it. Ooh. I like when Pulsar Ezreal does that. He's just able to like fly up a little bit. It's really cool. But Ezreal just soloing down this dragon. I can only imagine that this game is going to end relatively shortly. They're probably going to have a fight right here. Gonna do Baron. Oh, Ezreal's just taking people out with that red buff. Red buff and Fade is too powerful. Ult coming out from Ezreal, able to take out one person, and then able to take out a second person with the red buff and his auto attacks. Blitzcrank takes out someone else as well, and Ahri's left all by herself as blue team charges in, and Ezreal just flashes, and oh my gosh, it was everything. Arcane Shift, Flash, Essence Flux, Mystic Shot. It was just fantastic game, great game. I love to see games like that. I thought Red was gonna win that for a very long time. Red team looked like they were winning that game. Just with the Nautilus early game, Nautilus was just tearing everybody up. Great ganks came out, but Amumu just got a little bit more fed. He was able to place himself perfectly for those ults. He got 3 to 5 people in every single ult. Like, none of them went to waste. None of them even were just used for a gank. It was just 3 to 5 people, or I'm not using it. So, great move by that Amumu, just being able to tear people up. And Ezreal, he did feed. I wouldn't necessarily say feed. He did give up quite a few kills at the early part of the game, but he was exchanging kills, so it was like a 1-for-1. Ezreal being fed early is very terrifying, so he was still able to get that CS, he was still able to get the gold from the kills, so he was doing extremely well. And as you can tell by his ending items, Trinity Force, Bloodthirster, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper, you are not messing around with an AD carry that's like that. It's just not going to happen. So Ezreal probably won them that game in the end. But either way, great game on both sides. Congratulations to the blue team. And like I said, guys, comment on my streams if you guys have any suggestions, any champions you want to see specifically, any pro players you want to see specifically. Send me an IM, leave me a comment, and I will record them for you, cast them, and I'll even throw you a shout out into the comments. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow.